Day number 3, boys and girls. Are you ready for a few more eggs? Okay, here comes the green egg. But I've got to tell you some things before I open up this green egg. Well, remember when Jesus was in the garden? We talked about that yesterday, and he was praying. And then the day before, we talked about there were 30 pieces of silver that Judas got because he told the bad guys where Jesus was and they wanted to arrest him. Well, guess what? It happened. They were in the garden, and along comes the soldiers, and they arrested Jesus because Judas had told them, this is where he's at. And when they arrested Jesus, they took him and they beat him. They took whips. This is a little tiny piece of leather. I know you probably can't see it very well, but they took whips and they beat Jesus. They stretched out his arms and they beat his back, and his back bled because he was saying nothing. He said, he didn't do anything to stop this process because it was what God had in mind for Jesus. So he was beat and beat and beat, and he took our beating for all of those things that we do, all of those bad choices that we make, all of those times that we're not obeying mommy and daddy because God told us to obey our mommy and daddy. All of those times, Jesus took upon him. He was beaten. Then the next egg, after he was beaten, this is a crown. It looks like the crown of thorns. They put this on his head and they made fun of him. This is the King of the Jews. This is the King of the Jews. They weren't treating him like a king. They were hurting him. He took all of this punishment, and it's not done yet. He took all of this punishment for us. I don't know if you can see this, but this has some like prickers on it. Have you ever pricked yourself like on a rose bush or on a thorn from something else? These are prickers, and they go into your skin and they kind of rip your skin, and it bleeds and it hurts. Have you ever seen a king's crown? A king's crown is usually beautiful with jewels on it and fancy stuff and velvet and something that is very soft. Not for Jesus. This crown hurt. This crown made him bleed. This crown is kind of our sins that he took upon him. It's not a good thing. It was a bad thing. But guess what, boys and girls? There's more. There's more to the story. It's not all bad. So hang in there. We'll see you tomorrow.